one and another, and you can play along. I'll give you lots of clues as ever as well. It's always lovely to hear from you and your plans for the weekend. Now, last weekend, looking back, a huge clean-up operation took place in Sidmouth, and it's just the first of the year. The Sidmouth Plastic Warriors, which encompasses 700 members on its Facebook group, worked for 2 hours tirelessly to litter, pick, clean, tidy the town. The group planned to make 2020 the year that they undertake a big clean of Sidmouth to help the environment and improve its appearance in general there. Denise Bickley is the woman behind the group, and I'm very glad to say with me this morning. Hello to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Denise. Thanks very much for joining us on the phone this morning. Now, Denise, this is such a great idea. You're doing wonderful work here. Take us back. Why did you decide to start Sidmouth Plastic Warriors?
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago now. It's been going for 4 years, about 4.5 years. I went on holiday with my family to Mallorca. And when we were swimming in the sea, I was so excited to take my children and see what I'd seen when I was a child. But when we put our head under the water with our snorkel mask, it was plastic bags and nappies and bottles. And it was so depressing that, I vowed there and then that I needed to do something about it. So when we got back from there, I started just clearing up on my own and bought myself a litter picker. And it was quite soul destroying because you get lots of remarks about, you're fighting a losing battle or, let the council do it or whatever. But I kept going. But a friend of mine said, well, if you just told me you were going to do it, I'd come with you. So I just thought, why not? I started a little group on Facebook and said I'm going to do it on Saturday or whatever. And 20 people turned up, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had no equipment or anything, but they all were up for it. So we sort of grew from there, really. Amazing amount of people on Facebook following us now. They don't all take part. I wouldn't say that at all. There's probably 200 people that are active and come along to pick or do it on their own. But it's great to have that awareness of us in the town, so people share what we're doing. So that's great.
That's it. And I really love what you said about, fighting against that depressing urge that people have to go, oh, it's not worth it, or, it's not going to make any difference. It just shows just even one person does make a difference. You're right. I'm so with you, Denise. I was just walking along, I think it was Exmouth Beach earlier this week, splashing around in my wellies as I was throwing a stick for the dog into the water. And yeah, as you say, just plastic trailing in. And if each one of us just picked that up and put it in the bin, even that as a start would make a huge difference. But like you say, people sharing what you're doing to tell people when you're going to be there, it's all really helpful. It's a great idea. So what first gave you the idea for the 2022 big clean specifically?
We have not really been able to do very many big cleans, obviously, with the pandemic. So it all stopped immediately once lockdown came, obviously, and a lot of people were doing individual cleans, and we gave out equipment for people to do that in their hours exercise, if you remember back. And we weren't really able to pick it up last year. We managed, I think, one in between a couple of lockdowns, and it was very sporadic. It wasn't planned. And I've had a lot of people saying, I need to know when we're going to do it again. That it sort of keep people's mental health going sometimes. It's a very positive thing to do, on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. So I thought, well, this year we really have got to go for it. We've got to plan a whole scheme of events. So I put a little questionnaire out to see which day was best for most people and which time. And it always seems to be Sunday morning, first thing. So we just thought, well, let's just book it in and do it. So it's going to be every second Sunday of the month between 10 and 12. And we're going to take it in turns to do the beach and then inland, because here we don't have a bad tidal drift of plastic coming in like some areas do. So it is mainly coming from the streets and from uptown. So it drifts down through the gullies, through the drains and river, and it ends up on the beach that way, really. So that's what we're doing. We just want to keep people going, really. And it's a lovely community thing to feel you're part of something, and it's quite rewarding, So.
That's further inspiration for us all to be very careful how we dispose of our waste on land. Yeah, absolutely. And it's
sorry to interrupt you, Caroline. I think a lot of people, perhaps alcohol becomes involved or something, I don't know, but they'll put something down thinking it's not really littering. If you put it next to a bin because it's half full, or you leave it on a hedge or something. I think, honestly, people don't think about it, but the council don't have the resources to go round and pick it all up for them. So it's going to stay there until somebody picks it up, or it blows into the river or the gutter, and then it's gone. So we need to do our bit to take it out. And my son did some beach cleans for Duke of Edinburgh Award last year, and he was pretty shocked to find he picked up a glass bottle that somebody had disposed of with some lager in it. and inside it were two tiny little mice that had died in there. You know, we've got to be careful because we've got to protect our environment, and that's what it's all about. So it's not only plastic, it's everything that we just drop carelessly and don't think about. It has implications. So
Thank you.
I'm also a member of the Sid Valley Biodiversity Group, and you know, we're doing everything we can to promote biodiversity and to get the environment back on track. And actually getting this stuff out of the environment is just such an obvious thing. So.
These are all really important reminders. Thank you very much, Denise. Now, absolutely, things that we probably aren't as aware of as we should be. So, I mean, on awareness though, local eco groups, I'm seeing more of these maybe popping up on social media, being started by residents. Do you think that that is becoming increasingly the new normal? Is that a good thing?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think anything that people can do in their own little environment, even if it's just their street, is massively important. You know, we've got an adopt a spot map on our website that people can just sign up and take a little bit of responsibility, really, just for their own area. It doesn't mean it's their job to do it, but, you know, if you keep an eye on litter and your area, it suddenly pulls the whole area up, because we have a saying that litter breeds litter. So if you just keep an eye on a little bit, that's massive, you know, and we can all join together on Facebook. That's the beauty of some social media. That's the benefits of it. You know, we can all join together, all the little groups, making such a difference if you put them all together. So there's groups in Sidmouth, there's groups across East Devon, there's groups across Devon, and then we can all join up with the national ones, and suddenly we've got ourselves quite a lobbying group. So that's really important, because we think we're not just people who go around picking up rubbish. We're not free cleaners. We have to also try and turn off the rubbish tap as well.
Yeah.
And I think that doing that all together and having a clear voice about it is so important. Taking part in things like government surveys, we did that yesterday. I've put the link on our Facebook group just to say, have a word with the government. You know, we need to stop this because it's ridiculous. I don't want to be picking up rubbish for the rest of my life. I need them to start thinking about single-use plastic and turning it off, because we've become so used to just being so convenient and helping ourselves to whatever we want, and our footprint is massive, all of us, you know. So I think it's really important to become vocal about these things and to share good news stories and bad news stories about the environment.
Well, Denise, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All the best, and thank you for everything you do. Denise Bickley, the woman behind the group who are undertaking that big clean of Sidmouth this year, doing a great job to help the environment and improve its appearance. If you would like to get involved with some of the planned events this year, if you just search for the Sidmouth Plastic Warriors group, that is on Facebook, and you can join in. It's 7:31.